Hey, it's Tim, and today is August 25th. I'm in downtown San Diego, specifically Old Town San Diego, and I'm standing on the back of the Old Town Cemetery, which is right there. And it's interesting. I'm going to tell you a little bit about this for just a second, but first, why am I here? I try to bring you, when I have an appointment or someplace I have to go, I have a little time to kill. Like right now, I have time to kill. I had an appointment earlier today. I have an appointment later today. Both are in this vicinity, and I thought, hey, I got some time to kill. Let's go do a tour of Old Town San Diego. Not my favorite place, very high in tourism, lots of people here, but I'm in a spot right here in the back where there's nobody. But this is the cemetery. It's really old. I don't know how old it is, but it's really old, and there's a plaque here. I'm on the back side, so the front side, here, let me just show you where I'm at. Okay, I'm on Linwood Street, which is back here. It's like an alley almost in Old Town San Diego, and there's a back entrance right here to the cemetery. Now, this is a real cemetery, very real, from the olden days. It's not a mock-up. Now, it's been, kept up, and I don't know. We don't know how real some of these things are, but what I do know is real is the cemetery used to be much larger, and there's a plaque right here that tells us, remembering the more than 13 people, mostly children, who lie buried beneath Linwood Street. These graves were discovered with the use of ground-penetrating radar in 1993. Rest in peace. This plaque was placed by the Historical Shrine Foundation with the funds from blah, 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 blah. And it shows you a little map right here of where they found graves right here. So this is the gate right here, which is right there. And you can they found these graves right here, which is right behind my butt on the street right here. I'm at the curb, and if we step back right here, here's the street. And so they found these graves right along here using ground-penetrating radar. So what did it say, 1993? And that's interesting. Also, on the other side, there's a wall and there's a street right down there. In the street, there's markers on the ground where they also found graves. Because the cemetery used to be bigger, and over the hundreds of years or whatever, since, roads have been placed over it, that kind of thing. And so they're using these plaques here. They don't know the names of the kids, but mostly children. That's interesting. Mostly children buried out here in the street on Linwood. Old Town San Diego. Look at that house right there. That's cool looking. So basically today what we're going to do is just going to walk down the street because I have to kill some time. It's kind of interesting. There's some neat things to see down here. We'll walk down the street. We're going to walk by the Whaley House. Have you ever heard of that? And it's claimed on the sign out front. It says the most haunted house in America is right down the street. I've been in there and I didn't see anything weird, but that's the way it goes. Let's go in the cemetery real quick here from the back entrance. The front entrance is closed, which led me to the back entrance. Let's see if it... Oh, sure. We can go right in. The front entrance is closed because there's a waterline break over there. And so I think... Okay, see this is like a little pin on the ground right here? That little pin right there is... I think it means that there's a person buried there. They don't know who it is or whatever, but it's a marker for a person. Somebody's remains are there. And of course, it's so old, they don't know whose it is. Let's look at this one right here. I don't usually go around looking at graveyards and stuff, but that's just where we are. We're just taking a look at where we are. This person was buried November 28th, 1859, and it was a 4-year-old. I don't know how they know that, but there is a marker right here that's... No, you can't read it anymore. And maybe they did that with ground-penetrating radar or something like that. Oh, they do know a little bit. Jaime was one of probably 13, and the sign is dismembered, so we can't read it. It is damaged from the sun, probably. But there's a bunch of little markers. There's a lot of markers on the ground. I think that's what these are, right? These are little markers saying that there was a body here, that they found a grave here. Some of the stones that we see still here are probably original, or at least really old markers to show that there was a body here. Maybe they don't know who it is, and maybe some of these are, I don't know. This one says, in loving memory of Maria Providencia Smith de Cassidy. She died in 1878, and she was only 20. And Andrew Cassidy was her wife. And I'm standing on her. I'm sorry. I also kind of wonder, I always think about this, we bury people in a box, and then I think it's also in a concrete box or something. But I think in the real way, you're supposed to be buried so that your body will assimilate or whatever, decompose back into the earth. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, and your body goes back into the earth to complete the circle. but we put everybody in a box, and so basically we've got a bunch of boxes buried with with bones in it, which makes it kind of creepy. Here's another one that has a sign on it. It says Felicitas Pedroena, buried April 12th, 1880. I have given ecclesiastical burial to Felicitas. So these are, I can't read. Felicitas, unmarried, age 35 years, daughter of Miguel and Maria de Jesus. It is indicated that Felicitas is the illegitimate daughter of Miguel and also buried in El Campo Santo, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Sounds like they know a little bit about some of these people. So that's a quick run through of the cemetery. Oh, here we go. Here's a sign. Let's see what the sign says. Always read the signs. I keep saying that. Read the signs. This is El Campo Santo Cemetery. Let's see if I can find a date. There's some old pictures of it, like 1914 right there. It's just overgrown with weeds, and probably can't see it very well. It's kind of interesting because there's no buildings or houses behind it. It's just a... yeah, so see that right there? That's the marker we saw on the ground. That says it's a marker. There's also street markers in the street, and there's gravesite markers on the sidewalk, and we're going to go out. They did that in 1993. We'll walk down the street and see if we can see any. Okay, that sign said that the cemetery was started in 1849, and there's over 450 people buried within the grounds and outside the adobe walls, like I said, in the street or in the alley in the back. And so since we can't go out that way, we have to go out the back and walk around to the front. Okay, we're out front now, and here's the sidewalk. And right here, there's a marker. It says gravesite right there. So there's a little marker right there, right in the sidewalk, telling us they found a grave right there. And there's a bunch of them. If you walk down the sidewalk, there's one right there. Yeah, there's another one up here. There's another one right here. It says gravesite. There's also supposed to be some in the street. Let's see if there's any I can see in the street right here without getting run over. There's nobody coming. It's safe. Oh, right here. Yeah, right there. Yeah, there's one on the street right there. It says gravesite. It's upside down, but that's a gravesite. And now, the street right here where I'm at, it's just lots of restaurants and lots of old places. Not that old, but places. Like I said, the cemetery must have come out way out here in the middle of the street, so the street was just a little path. Maybe it was a little strip. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't a street at all back then. And then, you know what else is cool? Is there's all these buildings, office buildings, and tourism kind of stuff. And then right here is a house. There's a house. It's been here for a long time. Maybe it's not really a house. It's an office now, but it was a house at one point. This was somebody's home right here on the street. And now, I don't know, could still be a house. Kind of neat place to live, right in the middle of Old Town, where all the happenings are. Let's walk across the street. They got some cowboys over here. Some giant metallic cowboys pointing their guns at each other, having a shootout. They're having a shootout right here. Pew, 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 pew. Look at that guy's in the trough. He's in the water trough, and he's shooting up at these guys. Ooh, one guy's the sheriff. And then there's John Wayne, and then some kind of outlaw right there. All three are represented. This is one of the biggest restaurants right here. It's called Cafe Coyote. It's got lots of seating, lots of food. Good food. We ate here not too long ago. Lots of patio seating and stuff right here. Let's look back here a little bit. They got upstairs and downstairs. Gigantic. Now in Old Town, there is no shortage of Mexican blankets or luchador masks and things like that. If you want a luchador mask, you've come to the right place. They've got them everywhere. And the ponchos. We used to call these ponchos, but it's just a hoodie. Actually kind of nice and warm with the Mexican blanket style fabrics. They've got these tiles too. I think these are cool. I would be all about these if I knew how to set tile. These are kind of neat looking. There's a lot of that is the Dia de los Muertos celebration. And you got a dude on a motorcycle and Marilyn Monroe's dress flying up. Oh, this is funny. And look at this fantastic tile work right here on the front of this. Is Casa de Fred's right here. Casa de Fred's, which means in English, Fred's house. It's Fred's house. This is Fred's house right here. Fred's place. Look at this little courtyard right here. They've got an actual real oil lamp right here, a gas lamp or whatever. It's got like a torch in there. So right now we're right behind. This is the Whaley House right here. The Whaley House Museum, America's most haunted house, they say. And there's a wagon right there, a buckboard. This is an old house right here where it was somewhere else, and it's really old, 1870s, I believe. And they moved it here to save it from demolition, and it is now where you buy tickets and stuff, I think, to go into the Whaley House. This is the backyard. We're in the back. This is the back of the Whaley House, not the backside of water, but the backside of the Whaley House. This is their backyard. This is where the kids would have played if their last name was Whaley. Mr. and Mrs. Whaley had kids. I know they did because that's part of the story. I don't remember the whole story, but this house has all kinds of history, and it's really old, and it's been restored, and I've seen some pictures of it where there's hardly anything left. It's just a couple walls, and then there's old pictures of it, so they restored it to its original appearance. It had all kinds of things. It was a courthouse. It was their home. It was their courthouse. Some dude died in the backyard, hung himself, or was hanged on one of these trees. Some guy was hanged on one of these trees. This is part of the lore. And this is the Whaley House holding cell where they would put their kids when they were misbehaving. Just kidding. That's not true. But this was the courthouse. This was San Diego's second courthouse, it says. Okay, we're not allowed to go inside because we don't have a ticket, but there's a courtroom in there. You can see the Whaley House courtroom. Constructed and completed, oh, sorry, I said that backwards. Constructed and completed before the house. This brick courtroom was originally built to be a granary. Granary? Through the years, it has served as a Sunday school, a billiard hall, a ballroom, and from 1869 to 1871, it served as the County of San Diego's courthouse. And here's a Surrey. That is a historic horse buggy. And for our safety, we're going to stay off because these don't have seatbelts. Look at this. They've got a garden with, these are peppers, jalapenos, and habanero peppers. And there's some zucchini squash. That's not going to do well, right? That's not a zucchini squash. That looks more like a pepper. And then look at these tomatoes growing. That's beautiful. Look at this. They got a real garden back here. Tomatoes, jalapenos, and habaneros for making salsa. Let's go look at the front of this is the back. Let's go look at the front. Actually, I'm still in the back because I wanted to tell you something I forgot about. See how these windows look really creepy? They look spooky and creepy. There's people have said that they've been standing out here and they see a woman looking out the window at them in period clothing from the 1800s. There's a woman standing in the window looking out at them, and there's nobody in the house. The house is locked up, all that kind of stuff. Nobody's around. They run out there, nobody's in the house. And they know that it's kind of a ghostly figure. And I think also through this was the kitchen. This was like an add-on right here. There was a kitchen right here that they added on because the house originally didn't have a kitchen, and they've seen a woman in there cooking. If you look through the window, they see a woman in there cooking. Here's a view of the front porch. And there's some women in period clothing. That might be the woman right there. That might be her. Maybe that is her. I don't want to stare. Don't stare. Yeah, this is the front of the house. There's a big porch and stuff, and it's all been redone. We're walking down historic US 101, by the way, too. And it says here, this is the Whaley House, historical landmark number 65. Built by Thomas Whaley in 1856, 1857. This is the oldest brick structure in Southern California. In addition to being the home of the Whaley family, it served variously as a granary, store, courthouse, and school, and as the town's first theater. Whaley's home was the cultural center of San Diego, as well as the most luxurious residence. Ooh, it was luxurious. It was the most luxurious residence. All right, here's another stand of Luchador Masks. I've never seen anybody walking around with one of these on, though. Wouldn't that be fun if you saw, you could I don't know, it's kind of scary looking. And it tells you, do not try the masks on, please. They don't want you getting your saliva and spit all over them before somebody buys them. This is the Five and Dime store. Five and Dime general store, not anymore. It's just a souvenir shop. Everything San Diego is inside. Lots of places to buy. Look, there's more Luchador masks over yonder, across the street, right there, in that place, which you probably can't see. There's Mama Antonia's Mexican restaurant is right there. Here's more Luchador masks. And there's the traditional hoodies made of this stuff. You can get a blanket with your favorite football team on it. The dresses. There's a lot of stuff here. There's a lot of things here. Look at this. Ow. This goes way back here. Oh my. Baja blankets tonight. We used to buy these from guys on the beach. Guy would be walking down selling them on the beach. All kinds of artwork here. Look at this guy. He's got himself a woman. These look like outlaws. Outlaws. All kinds of stuff back here. Loud music. This guy's getting a haircut by a dead guy. This is fun. This place back here is open. It says so on the sign, open. Okay, I forget all the time, and I had to be reminded when I saw the sign that they ask you to not take video or photos of the artwork because they don't want you to copy it. And so I left. I won't do that. So I apologize to you people. Okay, well, this is a big sign telling us we're in historic Old Town San Diego, which is right down here, which is going to be all the really old buildings and the old stuff. But right here is the Dreyer's ice cream truck. No, behind it, that truck just pulled up a second ago. And I was about to show you the Church of the Immaculate Conception. So I went inside to do some reading. Apparently, they established the church on the corner right here in 1858. And they built a small building, but it was never finished. And then, because they ran out of money, I guess. And then they got some money and finished it, but it was like 1919 when they finished it. So this is 106 or 7 years old, what we're looking at here. Probably well maintained. There's a bell tower and stuff. Okay, we're gonna walk over here into the area known as Old Town proper. They've got these hop-on, hop-off bus tours right here in a FedEx truck. Yeah, this is the state park. All that's private, restaurants and businesses and stuff, and then this is the state park down here. Not only is there a multitude of Luchador masks. Oh, here's some more right here. More Luchador masks. There's an abundance of soap stores. I don't know why. I keep seeing soap stores. There's some more Luchador masks, and even a Spider-Man Luchador mask. There's an old brick building. There's a cigar and tobacco, like a real cigar and tobacco shop up here we're gonna check out. This is I don't know what this is. It's just an old building. Oh, this establishment request right on the front. No strollers, no tobacco, smoking or chewing, no food, no photos or note taking, no treating of the women folk unkindly, no politicking, no horses, no cussing, no spitting on the goods, no whistling or stamping your feet, no baring of the skin, and no pantaloons shall be worn. What is a pantaloon? Here at this place, you can make your own candles. Old-fashioned fun, it says. Dip your own souvenir candle in hot wax. And you can make your own candles here. And there's no smoking. This is like the town square right here. There's a giant flagpole, and this is the center of it all right here. I just walked. That one right there was the courthouse, and then this was a hotel called the Colorado House, and it was the first two-story. Did I say hotel? Maybe motel? Maybe it's a hotel. Maybe they didn't have motels back then, because I always references like cars and stuff. Motor hotel. And this was built originally in 1851, and it destroyed. It was burned down in 1872, and they made a new one. I don't know if this is it or not, but reconstructed by the Wells Fargo and Company. Okay, right here's the cigar store. This place is cool right here. They got the cigars, but they don't have oh yeah, I think they do have an Indian out front. Let's see. Yeah, there he is. They've got an Indian out front of the cigar shop. This is called Racine and Laramie, dealers in tobacco, cigars, and pipes. Look there he is. The wooden Indian out front. Ooh, it smells. Ooh, it even smells like, can you smell it? When you go inside this building, let's see if there's a little history right here. 1830. Oh, and it was burned down also in 1872. There must have been a fire. Yeah, oh, it smells gloriously like tobacco inside. Let's peek inside. Oh, this place has all kinds of antique pipes, and it smells of tobacco, and it's dark like a real tobacco place. World's finest pipe sale. These aren't your water pipes or hookahs. These are tobacco smoking pipes. These are cool. Look at this. They've got tobacco and pipes in here. They got a wonderful smell of tobacco. Hi. There's a proprietor selling the tobaccos. Manufactured rolled cigarettes.
Mm-hmm. Well, back in the day,
Uh-huh.
I mean, even if you went into a store to buy cigarettes, they would very often be hand rolled in a factory.
Right.
So there'd be a
hand
factory of
rolled
people just rolling cigarettes. When they started coming out with machines to make cigarettes, that would be something you'd advertise. That was the latest and greatest thing.
Uh-huh.
I say it's kind of like, it's got Bluetooth. Yeah, it's a toothbrush, but it's got Bluetooth.
It's got Bluetooth.
Yeah. That
Machine
kind of
rolled. Yeah, yeah. It was
So
the thing.
Machine rolled cigarettes would be the latest.
That's cool.
Now, cigarettes are all made by machine now, so
Yeah.
the sign's still accurate. It's
Yes, it is. Oh, look at this. It's a corn cob pipe.
okay.
Mammy and Pappy. They've got a real live smoking room as well. Back here, look at all the cigar. Oh my gosh! That's coming soon. But if you could smell the smell I'm smelling right now, it would be smelly for your smells. It is a strong smell of tobacco in here. I wonder how long it's been in the tobacco shop. The wood is all, it looks dark. You sip brandy and have your cigar or pipe over there in the corner. So cool. And there's these really cool old glass. Look at this old glass right here. This sign right here tells me that Joseph Gerstner is a certified retail tobacconist. That's a CRT, and it's just his credo. Oh, there's a credo on there. Also, Randall Bland, certified cigar sommelier tobacconist. Interesting. There's these really old vintage-looking windows right here. I thought they were mirrors, and I was waving at them, and I couldn't see myself, but actually, you can see right through. That's a glass window. All right, exiting the tobacco shop. That was cool. I got to talk to the guy in there. He was all dressed in like cowboy clothes, selling cigars and pipes and stuff, and gave me a big old rundown history of the building. And he did confirm that a lot of the buildings were destroyed in a fire in 1871. So a lot of the buildings have been reconstructed. And when the state money came in the 1970s, they were able to rebuild everything and make it look as it did originally. Now, they have lots and lots of restaurants in here. There's restaurants right there, really cool, authentic Mexican food restaurants, all very good food, all very good restaurants. And I'm convinced that all the restaurants around here are all fed from one kitchen, because it doesn't matter which one you go to, you're going to get a good meal, and it's always pretty much the same. You can't really mess with Mexican food too much. And I think there's one kitchen that's underground, probably right underneath this park. And they all get the food cooked in there, and it just goes out to the different outlets. That's kind of a joke, but that's kind of what I think, because the food's all the same. But most of the stuff here is all free of charge. Walk right in, except for this. This is actually a motel. Los Angeles Stage Office. I've never seen that before. Be kind of fun to stay here one time, though. At the Cosmopolitan Fancy Schmancy Hotel. This is the Sealy Stable Museum. I think it's a real old stables, but there's a museum in there. It's filled with carriages and buggies and all kinds of manner of transportation, people movers, if you will, inside the Sealy Stable Museum. And there's still the thing that hangs out the top, like, what is that, a yard arm? Some kind of thing that hangs out, and they can hoist the hay bales up into the window right there. But they don't do that anymore. It's just for looks. But you can go, this opens closed today. Let's see, there's a sign right here. It tells us that the Sealy Stable and Barn was erected in 1869. It was a large two-story gable-ended barn built by Albert Sealy. What is it for? To stable horses and store stagecoaches for his stage line between Los Angeles and San Diego. And in the 1920s, it was demolished and reconstructed by the state parks in 1974. This is the leather depot, and they've got moccasins, and it's called Toller's Leather Depot. It's not made of leather. They just store leather in there and sell it. And where I'm going is right here, this big red building, which is none other than the Old Town Theater. Because we were going to start building sets. This is why I'm here today. This is the back side of the Old Town Theater. It's a very lovely, quaint little theater. This is the back of it. Let's go around the front real quick. You know Audrey. Audrey's my daughter, and she is involved in theater, special needs theater. It's called Arms Wide Open. This play they're doing is part of their organization called Inspire, where it's a mix of all kinds of people, very inclusive. Anybody is welcome to try out, and everybody gets a fair chance to make it into the cast. And so they're doing Beetlejuice, and I've been doing this for 12 years or something. And today we are supposed to start working on the stage and moving some parts in, and I will be doing some curtain hanging, maybe some painting today. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing today, but I was told to be here at this time today. Hey, look, there's some more women in period clothing walking across the street over there. There they are. Women in period clothing. Now, I don't see the people I'm supposed to meet here yet, which means they're late. But that's okay. We're going to hang out. Might find something to eat. Also, we're going to be doing some flying. We're going to fly people across the stage. I get to do that. It's so much fun. And just be a part of the show. It's a lot of work, a lot of painting, a lot of building, a lot of setting, a lot of putting stuff where it wasn't before. And it's exhausting. But this is the theater where I'll be working the rest of the day. This is called the Signet Theater. I don't know if it's like a super old building. Maybe it is. Maybe the original theater once stood here in the old town days of 1850, 1860s, those days. I'm not 100% sure. But it's a really neat theater, and very quaint, and very, they call it when a theater is intimate. It's a very intimate theater. And there is our show that we're doing, Beetlejuice, right there. All right, well, that's it for today. I got to go find something to eat and wait for these guys to show up. That's it for today. A little tour of Old Town, San Diego, because I had to be here. So I always try to just take you with me where I'm going. Sometimes boring, not so much. And sometimes I plan things intentionally. But this time, just because I was here. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.